saying? And when her and Miss Harris, you know what I mean, met eye to eye, you know what I'm saying? I felt that real black moment, like when my mama and my auntie link up, you know what I'm saying? It felt like a period was supposed to come right there. You know what I'm saying? That's how it looked. That's how it felt. When they met eye contact, it was like a period. Period. You feel what I'm saying? It was we got the Vicky Brick shit Ricky Brickard. That's a new thing.
It's that time, Jack. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
We about to get ourselves into.
That's so smooth.
It's that time, Jack.
That's so smooth.
Yeah, thanks to me.
What's going on? You got to find some way to take credit. What's going on? You are rocking with the T-Time Podcast.
You already know what it is.
With your host, Royal T.
And your boy AD, but you can call me Deli.
Yes, sir. And this is Politicking with T and AD.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great day to politic, you know what I'm saying, with my brethren.
Yes.
As today is a very special day, we're gonna start off by saying shouts out to Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Shouts out to Miss Harris.
Yes.
Oh, it was a beautiful day.
It
was a beautiful thing that happened today. If you didn't catch it, today was the day of the inauguration of Joseph Biden being number 46 president. We're going to get that out the way just so we can acknowledge the fact that it also was a special day because it was the day that the first woman / first black woman / first lady / Baythang made it into the White House as the vice president. It is a great day, a very special day for U.S. history, Black history, cultural aspects. I don't know, bro. I feel real good about that, and I was able to sit there and I watched it and I caught it live. So that was another thing that was great. It was just awesome, bro. You could feel it.
Well, for me, you know, I was at work, so I didn't get a chance to see it like I wanted to, but I did watch highlights, certain parts of my lunch break, man, and things I did make it my business to pull up. Was I want to see the entrance of Harris and Biden, their separate entrances, you know, with their spouses and everything that.
Right.
And to see how they went up and, you know, President Obama gave Biden a double fist pound, you know what I mean? Kind of like, hey, you made it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you something.
He would have said, and where we met. Well, he couldn't say that, but he wanted to say it though.
But you know, I'm gonna tell you something, man. When I watched, and I also watched the both of them being sworn in. When I watched Vice President Harris get sworn in, hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That sent chills down my spine.
Man, that's what I'm saying. It was very.
I mean, it really did.
You could feel it.
It really did. It wasn't like I'm just sitting there bullshitting. I'm like, it really did.
And I went back and I watched it on YouTube again. You know what I mean? Like it was a hit Netflix series.
And I'm doing that tonight.
Because it was special. It was real special. I
like to see I like to see when they pull up in the motorcade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see all that. Because I did that when Obama got in office.
And the thing about it is I'm not gonna lie, is that was special as well. But for some reason, this one felt a little bit more specialer to me.
Is it because of where we coming from?
It could be. In the midst of all the heartache and the pain and the suffering and stuff that's going on through America right now with the police against black people and the Black Lives Matter movement growing and you know all the different things that's going on in the world that got to do with from the cultural aspect itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could be because of that, or it could just be because I actually have like being a young boy raised by a woman, you know what I'm saying, raised by my mother and watching the things that she had to go through with raising me and on all the opportunities that just weren't there for like women to see that, you know what I mean, actually come. It just lets you know that in the world, there's progress being made somewhere.
Yeah. And being fathers of daughters.
Yeah, right, exactly. I was going to hit it from that aspect as well when I was going to go into talking about like how my grandmother, you know what I mean, how this kind of reflects on my grandma and my great-grandmother and stuff like that too, being ones that knew that these opportunities weren't there. You know what I mean? The fight, the rights and voting.
This is what I touched on last week, though, when we was talking about politics last week, man. And I mentioned when we was talking about the past presidencies and things like that. And I told you the point I was making was people say what they want about what Obama didn't do or whatever the case may be, man. But just the historical magnitude of him getting in office. Like right now, if Kamala Harris does nothing that we...
Every time you say her name, I'm gonna have to hit that.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing that we sat back and could sit back and say, oh, man, the fact that we witnessed what we witnessed and the fact that she got in the office, because that was hard to overcome by itself. Right. He could have, and that's why I will always give Joe Biden much credit, because that could have been the reason why he lost the election.
Easily.
People just didn't want to vote for an African American, let alone a woman.
And I'll stand up in defense and say he could have, not in defense and say, but I will stand up in accountability and say that what I did say last week could be taken back now with that statement. You know what I mean? Because it's true. He could have lost the election because people could have looked at it from that manner of he's only doing that to get the vote. That's why I'm not voting for him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think it's bigger than that, especially after watching the inauguration and he had to give his speech.
How was his speech?
I
heard it was dynamite.
I was just gonna say it was real. It was powerful. It was real powerful. He really shined more light on the fact that 45 brought a lot of separation into America. And he wants to be the one to make sure we all come back together and we do it together. You know what I mean? Not like a forceful type of thing, but we're going to willingly come together and we're going to push forward and we really going to make America great again. We really already made America great again, honestly. I feel like that. He might not have had this plan set out when he wanted to make America great again, but little do he know he made America great again.
I mentioned that last week.
There's a whole lot of unity going on right now because of Kamala Harris.
Hey, I was listening to somebody last night. They were saying, man, if you think black folks ain't got the upper hand right now,
come on now.
Look at what's going on. We got folks climbing the walls now.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying?
Acting like animals, man.
They climbing the wall because they scared. But remember, I told you this a while back. I said my buddy Stan told me, once again, for those who don't know, he's a white man who's big into civil rights, things like that. He told me, he said, studies show by the year 2050, the nation is going to have more minorities and the Caucasian will be the minorities in numbers.
Because they say
we'll be the majority, and they're threatened by that, which is why they're demonstrating right now, because they don't want to see that happen. He said if it was up to 45, he would have allowed abortions for all minorities, but no abortion for Caucasian, because he wants us to kill the reproduction.
Listen,
made sense.
It makes a whole lot of sense. I'm a firm believer in history repeats itself, and there's nothing new under the sun. You know what I mean? So the way things were, the way things once were, they have to be that way again. It's just the life cycle. It just has to how it has to go. And that's a whole nother conversation that we don't have to have right now. When it goes into about the original man and who was running the world and who really owned the land before everything kind of switched over and made way. That's a different conversation. But listen, when you go into what you just said off that conversation, that's what it leads me into, because it's like, right, it's only right for the minority to be the forefront of everything, because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Right. And, you know, I just want to talk about Kamala Harris one more time. Look at her story. You know, her mom, just another, you know what I'm saying, being raised by her mom and all this other type of stuff, man. How can it not affect guys like me and you who are raised by our mothers?
That's exactly where I led this off with. I know it's big. Listen, man, I watch mama. I'm talking about, especially when you think about black women as a whole. Think about the things that are connected to black women. When you got W-2, you got EBT, you got WIC, you got welfare. You got all these things that you associate when you think of black woman, ghetto, ratchet, thoughts, all this. You know what I mean? And this is just right off the hand. I'm not saying this is how everyone looks at them. But this is like when we're speaking culturally and we start to speak and we say certain things and we like, okay, so what are like some of the main things that black women are known for? Look at the stuff that starts to come out. But now look at the shift and change that can be created now.
Right.
Because you had a Michelle Obama. you got a Kamala Harris. You know what I mean? Right. Like look at the shift now. Now there are other things, there are better things that you obviously can say that Black women are known for, that Black women can do, that Black women are able to do, that Black women have shown that they have done. You know what I'm saying? Without just those the minor milestones. You know what I mean? Because now in today's time, the Madam C.J. Walkers and stuff are starting to be looked over. Black history is not what Black history used to be anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's just starting to be looked over. Here's that new wave of Black history for women. You know what I mean? A lot of these young girls don't know Angela Davis, Afeni Shakur. They don't be knowing these women. They don't be knowing what's going on. They're not really into the black history. So their Black history is going to be Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, Lena Taylor.
I don't think her trailblazing is done.
It's not.
You know why I say that? I said this when she was picked to be the running mate for Joe Biden.
Okay.
One of the biggest knocks on Biden to the masses was his age. Okay. Somebody that old running for president. I felt like we know if something happens to the president, the vice president assumes the president's a position for the rest of the term. I just believe that's his way of trying to break down another barrier, because if there's something wrong with him health-wise that we'll never know until it happens, he knows she's next man up for that position, and he knows she's more than capable of doing it. And I believe he wants to be the one to put her in that position, because one thing she said, man, when they were doing a joint interview on CNN, he said, listen, he said, when I was working with Barack, they was asking her what is her role going to be as far as decision making. He said, listen, he said, I'm gonna answer this question, Kamala. I'm sorry, I can't address it. I'm gonna answer this question. He said, when I was working for Barack, I didn't work for him, we worked together. He said there were times he would come to me and say, Joe, I got this much going on over here, man. Won't you take over this? He was like, so I ran a lot of major things because of him just saying, I trust you, go ahead and do. He was like, there's not been a decision made as to who I picked from the cabinet of the Biden-Harris administration that she has not had an input on. He said and she was like, yeah, you're right. He said every single decision that we've made thus far, she's had an input on because we're a team.
Which further goes to show that it's more than just getting the Black vote.
Right.
You actually feel that this woman has something that can help create the change. She can actually help you do your job better. You know what I mean? That's what you look for when you want for advice. You look, you know what I mean? As we spoke on last week, you're going to look to get the votes, but as well as you're going to look to see who's going to be able to help you push forward.
Did you see any of those?
Who's going to be a nice forefront face? She's very powerful right now.
Yeah. Did you see that debate when she debated Mike Pence?
I did not.
Okay.
But you definitely can talk about it.
Listen, go back when you get a chance, watch the debate. You'll love it. And the reason why I say watch it, because it shows how much she's not intimidated by nobody. She be trying to, now, you know, you see.
Name a Black woman that is.
Hey.
Well, we ain't gonna say it. Name a strong Black woman that is.
There you go.
There you go.
Now, I'm sure you've seen clips of the Biden-Trump debates or whatever, just debates through the years. But she's talking. Pence will try to cut her off, but no, that's not true. She's like, excuse me, I'm talking. And she giving that smile. I'm talking. Thank you. I'm talking.
Remind you of an old high school Black principal.
Man, and the stuff she would say, she was not intimidated, and she was just coming at him with knives and daggers. Like I said, when you get a chance, go watch it, man. You be like, man, okay, this is what we in for. When I seen that, I'm like, man, we good. Because she's not going to back down from none of that. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Man, look. It's great, man. And then let's not bypass over the other great thing. Where I look at it from, I don't want to dive too much into that conversation, but that Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. So when I look at the Latinos and I look at the Blacks and I look at the Indians, I feel that we're all the same people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And to see that the first Latino woman was the one that inducted in Kamala Harris That was also something great.
Supreme Court Justice.
You know what I mean? Like that, it's just a great day for brown and black excellence. You know what I'm saying?
Let me stop you right there.
What you got to...
It's that time, Jack.
What's happening?
You remember I mentioned last week about Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, his wife?
Yep.
They said today he did not attend the ceremony.
He did not attend the ceremony?
He did not attend the ceremony.
So then that says a lot about him.
Well, it said a lot about him, the way his wife was carrying on by herself, bitching him on about the Black Lives Matter stuff, and he's sitting there with a thumb up his ass. So he didn't even attend the ceremony.
Brother? Can you call him brother? Brother, you in the wrong. Brother.
Willie D says guys like that are black men, but he ain't no brother.
He not no brother, man. Come on. I wish I could have attended.
Me too.
I wish I could have attended. I would have been out there like how Cedric explained us being out there. We would have been out there barbecuing and everything. Inauguration would have been cracking, like for real. And let's not act like. Well, let's not say that. Let's get back to the fact that we were talking about how excellent this is.
Before you jump on that, I just want to give a quick shout out to ex-Vice President Dick Cheney. He was the Vice President underneath George Bush.
Okay.
Republican Vice President. He was invited to the ceremony. He chose not to come because his doctors advised against it because of health reasons.
Is that Joe Biden shouted him out? Is that him or somebody?
I didn't watch the speech yet.
I think the last name was Carter. Somebody Carter.
Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter.
I think he couldn't make it.
Okay, yeah, Jimmy Carter, like 98.
Yeah, and the doctor said
Democratic president Jimmy Carter. Matter of fact, you know them houses down there on like 17th and Walnut, stuff like that. Like 20th and Walnut. 20th and Walnut. If you go up Walnut, they got them houses that was built like where the old McDonald's was.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yep.
Jimmy Carter built those houses for the inner city. He came and did it himself. He was there building it with hands.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
So he's a Democratic president, but nevertheless, we not want to shout out Vice President Dick Cheney because people was saying at first like, oh, he just like Trump. He didn't want to show up, blah, blah, blah. But no, he was saying that he didn't, his doctors advised against it. However, I didn't know his daughter is a Republican senator right now. And she was one of the 10 Republicans that voted to impeach Donald Trump. And he said he was proud of her for going against the masses because he knew it was pressure on her to stick with the party, but she did what was best. And he said that's what was best. So for that reason, I'm going to give him a shout out. That lets me know these people are human.
And you can see that people do understand that people out here are human. And right. I'm actually happy to see that there are more people out here actually living on their choice. You know what I mean? And a lot of stuff used to move off the dollar, you know what I mean? Or off the popularity. I think a lot of stuff now is starting to move off of what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
That's how we get Kamala Harris. You know what I mean? We get Barack Obamas. We get Michelle Obamas. We get, you know what I mean, all black cabinets, you know what I mean? All Democratic cabinets and stuff, because people are actually starting to wake up. He don't understand what he really did.
Mm-hmm.
He really did make America great again because he made people open their eyes to reality.
Yeah.
This is bigger than your taxes.
Right.
This is bigger than this side, red and blue. You know what I mean? It's bigger than that.
Right.
Who's really going to be making the decisions that's going to impact your life? You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people realize they made a mistake with 45. And that's what made people feel like we have to bounce back with 46. And he took the opportunity to take this situation and turn it into something bigger. Like you said, he gave opportunity to somebody else, to another, not only a different culture, but a woman at that. I'm going to do something different than anybody did because I'm going to prove to people what this could actually be and what they can actually do. It sounds bad to say it like that, but that's how they kind of look at it.
I'll tell you one thing, man. How would you like to be Kamala Harris's husband right now, being known as the first gentleman? You know what I'm saying? That's pimp shit. I kind of like that. The first gentleman.
The first gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout outs to the first gentleman.
Yeah, where Trump said he gonna call him
Jack. What?
The first asshole.
Oh my God.
No, he ain't say that about this.
Why? Don't do that, man. I almost ran with that, dog. I almost ran with that. Don't be doing that, man. But this is a very powerful moment for our youth as well. I just hope that they are actually understanding what it is that they should be taking in right now. You're witnessing something great, something that possibly could never happen again.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So this is where you have to make the most out of these moments.
Mm-hmm.
Don't embarrass Kamala Harris out here, y'all.
Yep.
Do not embarrass her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
put like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. Real shit. Go back and look at that vice presidential debate between her and Mike Pence. They only did it one time. And you will feel a lot more comfortable of how she's going to assume her position of going overseas, talking to the people of different countries and stuff like that, and setting things straight, blah, blah. You're going to feel okay with her going over there bargaining on our behalf. I guarantee, be like, okay, we good.
Because she ain't gonna take that mess.
But there was a couple of black people like Stacey Abrams. I think Stacey Abrams was cool. She's the one who got everybody voted down there in GA. You know what I'm saying? So she's cool, but a lot of inner city folk thought they were going to choose her. They wanted her instead of Kamala Harris. However, Stacey Abrams to me wasn't qualified enough for the position. You know what I'm saying? Like Kamala Harris is a former prosecutor. This is another, you know what I'm saying? She was a senator. You know what I mean? So she already was in the fold. So I just think, man, we in good hands, man. I really do. And I said last week, man, we're not gonna expect everything to be perfect. But think about it, man. How much more can it be for it to be better? Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit for it to be better. Cause man, we in a bad place, man.
Right.
If this cat come through with the other $1,400 for this stimulus money, and then if he do the wiping away debt thing, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, that's a start. That's a start. A huge start.
It's already a start.
You know?
It's already a start. And that lets you know why 45 left the way he did, because it almost seems like you know what you can and can't do. So you only did the bare minimum of what you could do. And that's why you get Biden coming in like, I'm finna show you what these people need. I'm finna help them out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Would you give a shout out to, you may not know the answer to this. Would you give a shout out to Mike Pence?
In a way, yeah.
Okay. Why?
For not being in the fold. For not being,
elaborate.
Not being in the forefront. You know what I mean? You know, when you accept that role as like a vice president or something, then you accepting that role, I'm finna ride with you. You know what I'm saying? We in this together. He wasn't in the forefront of all the nonsense that was going on. At least not that I seen.
So a lot of it, he would just guilty by association.
Where he was able to, but you could see that he was able to separate himself. Like, dude, he doing that on his own.
He did attend an inauguration.
He showed up.
He was there. He was in the front row. He was sitting right in front of Kamala Harris. And when they came down, they was the first one to hand his shook at the end.
What does that say to you?
Well, the thing is, listen, I'm not surprised though, because he is a true politician. Trump wasn't a true politician. Exactly. Just like they said that, I'm reading this is what I read over the weekend. I don't know if you've seen some of the same highlights or whatever. Trump basically gave up. He basically gave up. When it's all said and done, he gave up. He quit doing his job like a week or two ago.
Right.
Pence has been doing everything since then. Pence called Kamala Harris, congratulated her. He called Joe Biden, congratulated him. Trump didn't congratulate nobody. He was going over there, meet with the military. He was fulfilling the presidential job while Trump was over there with a thumb up his ass trying to figure out what to do next and who to lie about. So I'm not saying Pence is a great guy, but I think Pence did what he was supposed to do. Tradition, you're supposed to be there to transition the power to the incoming.
Right.
That's tradition. Win, lose, or draw. You can't be a sore loser, because Pence knows maybe 2024 he may want to run or whatever. But that's just the way that you do business. What Trump did, none of that stuff is how you do business.
And people will remember that.
Man,
and that reflects on you a lot.
So let me ask you this. You know, he gave all them pardons, and one of the people he pardoned was Lil Wayne.
He pardoned like 74 people, right?
Was it 74?
I think it was like 74.
Okay. How do you look at and then you say, well, Lil Wayne did support this guy?
You said did or didn't?
He did.
Yeah, I know he did. I was saying.
How do you look at people like that, man? Who call themselves from the streets, but then you support the devil for your own independent good? Would you consider that selling your soul?
Of course it is. Most of these people that talk that from the streets, they're not considered that anymore once you get to a certain pedestal. Because when you get to a certain pedestal, you can't even do street-like things anymore unless you're willing to let certain things go.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you have to think about it like Lil Wayne is still considered relevant. You know what I mean?
Right.
Meaning you still hold some kind of position somewhere. So you have to follow a certain order.
Yeah.
Because if you step out and you do a lot of things on your own, then you're going to get a lot of backlash from that higher up that we're not in that group to even know how that operates. But you're going to get backlash from that higher up. There has to be a certain amount of y'all that has to pardon. You know what I mean? But then you get those that pull out and then you'll look and see the backlash of what happens to them for doing that.
But let me ask you this, though. How can I word it? As an entertainer, person like yourself who has entertained and aspires to entertain even more, how would you feel? What would you think you need to sell in order to still maintain your identity? Like, did you think this man kind of sold his soul a little bit because he kind of went away from, because like we talked about before, man, your roots are still your roots. And even though you take, I always talk about 50 Cent, I'm reading his book, he's not the same guy as the one that was in the streets, but the root of his actions are still the same when it comes to the hustle game and things like that. Lil Wayne seemed to have veered away from that because this same guy that says, oh, I don't think racism exists. Well, what the fuck is you living?
Well, you also see the meme that's floating around saying that's the first black that cracked.
Oh.
So there you go. Look, sound like you right there. There you go. I mean, you can't expect him to think a certain way. You know
That's
what I mean?
first black that cracked, huh?
His mind is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, you're not even Lil Wayne anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Who are you? Right.
We don't know who that man is anymore. He's not that Carter 1, Carter 2, Carter 3 Wayne anymore. Like you skateboard. You still make music and people respect you for that. So they'll go listen to it. But we're not connected to Lil Wayne as we once were, to where you would make songs where you was stop analyzing, criticizing, you know what I'm saying? Where you were making these songs where you were going at these politicians. Now you got to try to find any kind of way to, you know what I'm saying, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Or keep yourself going. For all we know, he has no right. He has nothing to do but support that because his cash flow might not be the same. So if something goes wrong, then it might affect his cash flow for real. Where other people are like, I don't care what Trump do, you can't affect my money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's probably a person whose money could be affected by a decision that Trump makes. Right. So you have to make sure you support him, not because he can physically do it, but he mess around and he take more taxes from the rich. You feel what I'm saying? You might be a person that gets affected by that. And we don't know what Wayne could be going through. How many times does stuff happen with people where they pop up in the forefront of the media and we be like, wait, bro broke? How is he broke?
Right.
How he ain't got no money? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For all we know, Lil Wayne could be penny pinching right now. And if he makes the wrong move, then taxes come back for him, or something goes into whatever businesses or accounts or whatever he got going on, and that pulls too much money from him, and now he's in a bad situation. We don't know these people's lives, but you do know that they built up lives of people that you claim you don't like. So when we speak about white people, you always want to talk about the wealth and the rich that white people have. Okay, well, certain black people get to a point where they have that same wealth. Oprah, Tyler Perry, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, Kanye West, 50 Cent. You feel what I'm saying?
Don Lemon.
You feel what I'm saying? What? you get to a certain point where your dollar is higher. You know what I mean? But some of these people are relevant. Will Smith is a relevant millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Type of stuff you look at. So I have my own movie production company. I still got my ways to make my money to whereas whatever Trump does, it won't affect me too bad. But I take that effect to stand for the cause.
Right.
Lil Wayne might not be in a position where he can say, I could take that effect to stand for the cause. No, at this point, I got to do what's right for my bank accounts because now I'm here and this is where I'm looked at and this is the bracket that I'm in. So I'm going to be the one affected by it. So what he's doing is living like the average black person that you see nowadays, not when it comes to us in the urban and the wealthy community, but those lawyers or whatever kind of, those uppity black people that drive the Teslas and stuff like that, you're kind of in that bracket with them to where they got the Trump signs in their front yard because
uppity.
they uppity.
Why they uppity?
It's just, that's the term that's used. They uppity. You ain't ever heard uppity?
I've heard uppity, but why would you call them uppity?
I call them uppity because that's what they is. They uppity. Something like that. Shit. They up on T. They up.
Hey, let me ask you something. How do you feel about this? Always been, I ain't gonna say it's a pet peeve of mine, but I always kind of struggle with this. How do you feel about when people say, man, dude be acting white? Well, he talk white. How you feel about that? Is that racial?
That is racial.
Because in other words, when someone acts, because that's the connotation is when you act like, you're civilized and speak with proper English, you're acting white. But then you talk with slang and it pans off your ass, you acting black.
Animal, then you acting black.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
It's like a stereotypical type of thing.
Right.
But yeah, that could be what his situation could be. You know what I mean? We don't know people's situation that we sit back and judge them off of. You know what I mean? We just go for what the media forefronts or that first headline that we read. Shit. We don't know what the hell Lil Wayne going through to sit here and talk about why he, standing sides with Trump. He probably ain't got no choice.
Man, I don't buy that shit no way, so I don't give a fuck what he did.
Exactly. It didn't affect me, did it? We still got Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And that's what matters at this point right now.
Yeah.
And all that, you know what I'm saying, really didn't mean nothing. Just a way to get your name in the headlines and make people go look at you. You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff be publicity too, man. You got to watch out for that too.
Oh, man. I mean, fuck them.
Of course.
You all gonna make a point, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But when you said F them, I thought about Michelle Obama. You know what I'm saying? She was good at the inauguration. Yeah, she was looking good. You know what I'm saying? And when her and Miss Harris, you know what I mean, met eye to eye, you know what I'm saying? I felt that real black moment, like when my mama and my auntie link up. You know what I'm saying? It felt like a period was supposed to come right there. You know what I'm saying? That's how it looked. That's how it felt. When they made eye contact, it was like a period. You feel what I'm saying? It was great, man. Black and brown excellence on today. You know what I'm saying? And Biden almost earned his brown and black excellence on today. You know almost, man. You almost. Wait till you watch it. Wait till you watch.
I'm saying, what you mean almost? He's not an honorary yet.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
Why not?
Because he's just not.
Why not?
Because he's not.
What do you gotta do?
It ain't up to me. I gotta go sit down with the fellow cultural committee and we gotta find out exactly what it is he gotta do.
Well, let me tell you something, man. I already talked to the cultural committee, and I'm here to tell you, black delegation, we choose Joe Biden.
Oh, wait a minute, Rondell. That wasn't a part of the deal.
Yeah, hey, y'all can have Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, y'all can.
That's right, Jack.
Yeah, man. But
so we gonna take Joe Biden and Bill Clinton. Y'all can have Clarence Thomas and Colin Powell.
I do believe that he received a lot of respect though on today.
I'm just saying, man, why he ain't an honorary brother, man?
First of all, now you're going too far with that. He never can be an honorary brother.
So if he put $1,400 extra in your pocket, he ain't gonna be no honorary brother.
No, he gonna be Biden, bro. That's what he gonna be. Biden, bro. Good looking. Biden, bro.
Okay. What if you wipe away student debt?
I don't got no student debt.
I ain't talking about my pig.
Oh shit. Then he gonna be like, B-Dog. You showing out, B-Dog. You know what I'm saying, B-Dog?
Okay. Another thing he wants to implement is raise all minimum wage to $15 across the country. Which means other wages will rise too.
All right, Smoking Joe, you on your way now. Smoking Joe, you on your way, Smoking Joe.
Okay. What if he nominated you, Mr. TF, to be a part of his new cabinet.
All right, brother, man. Got yourself a goddamn dick. All right, brother, man, you got yourself a deal. You know what I mean? Anything, man, you want to add to this thing before we wrap this up? We just really wanted to stop in today. It must work that way, you know what I mean? Because we usually do our link ups on Thursdays, but we able to do it today. We had to show love to Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why we kind of linked in today. We just wanted to kind of discuss the things that was going on and give our conversation on the inauguration and how it made us feel and the things that were going on today. AD, if you got something you want to add in, if not, we can go ahead and we can.
Yeah. I want to give a
My bad.
I want to give a shout out. I mean, it's all seriousness. Shout out.
Oh, you got
anniversary. Dude with the plastic doll. Today is a 2-month anniversary. The guy who married his blow up doll, Henrietta, whatever her name is. So shout out to them and them dumbass groomsmen that attended the ceremony.
I wonder what the wedding photos look like.
Oh, they showed them. She's in different poses. There's one, she got her hand on his shirt like she pulling his shirt off. He got his,
it feels like winning.
It feels like.
But you know what they said?
What they say? Because I don't know what they said.
There'll be no annulment because he consummated the marriage.
As always, man, we want to thank y'all for. I don't be knowing how to leave out. AD, you be finding some weird,
hey man,
but interesting content.
He says she knows how to sharpen a pencil, man. That's all I know. So,
as always, we want to thank you for rocking with the T-Time podcast.
T-Time.
I am your host, Royal T.
Terry de la Valle. And it's your boy AD, aka Deli, sponsored by Debonair Shisha.
Debonair Shisha.
You see it? Yeah, you see it. Debonair Shisha.
How we're doing a sponsor.
Look for the videos coming soon. We got the videos coming soon. We're going to be showing how to make fantastic mixes of different shisha flavors to give you the shisha flavor of a lifetime. And I also want to give a shout out to Chi-Town Shisha, who's been looking out for the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Who keeps the hookah stocked on deck. We're going to do some more business together, man. So I want to give them a shout out, man. They shouted me out on IG. I appreciate that. And let's do it. It's that time, Jack.
And as always, we like to leave you with the acronym. That's peace. That's positive energy. Always creates elevation. Peace, love, prosperity. And we want to thank you for rocking.
Did you see R. Kelly came out with a new song,
it's
man?
Politicking with T and AD.
It's that time, Jack. We about to get ourselves into. It's that time, Jack.
What's going on?